What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another 90-Day Fiancé video, and this one is all about Yara and Jovi in the most recent episode of season 7, episode 15. But of course, let's start off by giving a big massive shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel, that is a member of Patreon, and that is a subscriber. And with that being said, let's not waste any more time and see exactly what went down this week with the happy couple.
The one time is beautiful behind us. What's wrong with you?
I imagine how you would feel if you were in my position.
I know what to tell you.
After getting ganged up on at breakfast and having everyone against me, Yara and I want to do some sightseeing. But for me, I just want to spend some time away from Karina and Olga. Yara's throwing a lot at me this trip, and this is stuff that Yara and I have never talked about before, so I don't understand where this is coming from. Like, to me, it's coming out of left field. I'm guessing it's her mom and Karina putting these thoughts in her head. I feel like you're bringing on so much negativity to me since we've been here.
Look, we're almost done with our trip.
You know what, though? I will say this. It is quite interesting how Jovi always believes that anything that Yara says and comes up with is never actually from Yara herself. It's either her friends he believes is doing it, or it's her family doing it. He never actually says, I can't believe Yara's actually thinking of this or doing this or whatever. Like, why would you have this idea in your head? It's always everybody else is putting this in your head. It's interesting, though, isn't it? How either one, he has no faith in her having the ability to think of these ideas, or two, he thinks that she loves him that much that she wouldn't dare to even think these things, or, you know, whatever it could be. I just find it interesting that he's always putting the blame on other people, but never actually thinking that maybe his wife actually has the ability to think of these things by herself solely, and she could be the one actually pulling these narratives. But hey, we continue.
We don't help nobody. We come to help the people. So I need to stay because I feel like I need to do that.
I would just feel so much better if you came back. Like, I understand why you want to stay, but I don't know. I wish you would just think about how it feels sometimes.
Jovi, I am a grown-ass woman and I can make decisions by my own, okay? All my life I live for you. Give me to live for myself a little bit. Give me to choose what I want. I'm doing everything for you.
To support you and come to Europe
now because
Maybe that's the issue. Maybe because all her life since they've been together, I love that she's all my life. You haven't known him. You have not known him for that long, but yeah, the life maybe that's the case. Maybe she's always done so much for him, and that's why he thinks that she's always going to be submissive to him, and that's why he probably thinks that she would never dare to think of anything that involves being away from him, you know, because that's not something that she's ever done or allowed to do or whatever. It just kind of really identifies and exposes just that dominance in his mind. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do quite find interesting. Doesn't think that she would ever dare to do that. And it's not really a good thing, to be honest with you. Not in my opinion. Yeah, I think it shows how much maybe he has been quite controlling behind the scenes, maybe more than we have ever known. It kind of brings me back to when we first met Jovi and Yara. You know, I did not like him at all. I thought he was a scum of the earth, and I hated the way he treated her, he spoke to her, and I hated the fact that she'd allowed it and she would still continue to marry him. At that point, I was generally convinced that she was with him just for a green card, because the way he was to her was just so obnoxious. Yeah, so you know, him having that character of control, whatever, it's always going to be there, isn't it? Because think about it, in the beginning, he was able to do what he wanted to do, say what he wanted to do, and she still stuck by him. So it does make sense why he doesn't think she should dare to think of these things by herself. And now he probably feels as if like he's losing control of the relationship. He's losing control of controlling her. Probably what it is, to be honest with you. But hey, I'm on a roll today, man. I'm coming out with different theories, you know. Every video that I've made today has been phenomenal. Obviously, of course, you guys have been watching throughout the week, haven't you? Anyway, let's continue.
I was telling you, and I don't want to be so loud because I have a mile near to us, but honey, I moved to US because I want to be with you. I live in a place which I freaking hate because I want to be with you, because I love you, and because I respect you, and because I want you to be happy. Can you do something small for me, like let me to stay in here without drama, for making me happy in this freaking life?
At the end of the day, there are two people in this marriage, and I'm starting to feel like my opinion just doesn't matter anymore. Yara wants an apartment here, and she wants to stay in Europe longer. Like, this kind of determines our future, you know? So it's really stressful because there are things that I want for us as well.
You know what? Upon review and thought of everything I just said, I've changed my mind. I think he should actually be. I think he should gamble and allow her to stay in Prague with with her friend and family for the rest of the month. I think that would be a very good test for their relationship as well, because if she does that and then she does keep away and she comes back to America, because she can now, and now she's got the green card, well then, at least he knows that she's not going to leave him. He probably does fear that she's not going to come back and she's going to leave him, but if she does that and she does come back, well, at least you know that she generally does love you and she's not by his edge. So, you know what, man? Let's stay there. It's not the end of the world. Come on now.
Look, I was actually thinking, if you want to come back home, how do you think it would feel about us having another baby?
You want to have another?
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Mom, this guy is trying to. Oh my goodness gracious me! He's mentioned having another child. Let me see where this goes. Let me see where this goes.
Another baby?
Mila's almost 2 now, and I don't want to wait forever. Like, I don't want to be an old dad. But also, I kind of been thinking that maybe a child could strengthen our relationship. If
Oh my goodness gracious me! I am not a religious man, but I shall pray this moment in time. Listen, let me tell you something real quick. Having another child is never the answer to strengthen your relationship. He does not want another child to strengthen the relationship. He wants another child to tie her down. He wants another child to make sure that she ain't looking to go elsewhere and she's going to stick with him. That's what it is. It's a control factor. See through you, Jovi. You waste man. Nah, we ain't doing this. We ain't doing this. I ain't hearing this. She better say no. I don't want to hear about her being pregnant anytime soon. I swear. No, don't want to hear it. It's different if it's a mutual decision, but at the end of the day, he, like I just said, it might strengthen our relationship. So he doubts their relationship. He does not want her to stay in problems. He doubts that she's going to want to come back. I get it. But if you don't have that much faith in your relationship, then why are you still in it? You can't trap someone in your relationship in the fear they're going to leave you. That is toxic, unhealthy. Jovi, do better. Just go. Anyway, we continue.
Yara got pregnant again, I feel like it would bring us closer.
Are you like, this is what's serious right now?
Yes?
No, because I will be the person who raised them. You always at work. No.
From where it's coming from. I want another baby in the future, but it's definitely not a close future, at least in 4 years or something. I don't want another baby now. I just start to making my way and working and doing stuff. Like, it's honestly the worst time to have any kids right now.
Let's go, Maya. It would be hard for me to do it too, baby. Super hard job, and I'm not ready for that again.
It's something that I've been thinking about for a long time, and now's the time to do it, not to wait.
I am not planning to have another baby in at least 4 years, Jovi. So now, because I said that maybe when I stay in Europe, you're trying to drop in the bomb on me about another baby. Like, is that something like you think if you have another baby, you'll take control more?
It's not.
Yeah, because it's harder for me to set the life with the 2 babies in my clearly.
No, I'm just trying to think of it.
That's just in your head?
I think it's something we have to talk about, and we have to figure out what we're going to do and what's the future for our family.
I'm not ready yet.
I mean, listen, no man should ever tell a woman when we're going to have a kid because it's a bit body on the line. But also at the same time, no woman should ever tell a man when we're going to have a kid. Okay? Having a kid should be a mutual decision. It should be a decision that comes because you both are ready. If one says no, conversation's over. There's no persuading. I don't believe in that.
You're just like, really, like, you need to ask me what I feel about. Like, maybe it's about 2 people.
I am. I've been hearing about everything you feel about for the last week.
I'm not ready for another kids, okay, Jovi? So let's go.
You know, you say it takes 2 people in a marriage to agree to have another child. I agree with that. But at the same time, it takes 2 people in a marriage to decide if you're going to buy an apartment in Europe. It takes 2 people in a marriage to decide if you should stay in Europe without your husband.
All this baby discussion is just an excuse for you to get me back to the US, and it's a super weird excuse. I wish you have something more, I don't know, more.
She's onto you. Having a baby is just an excuse to get me back to the US. She's onto him. Okay, I like that. She's clocked onto his movements. She knows about it. Control freak.
Smart to say.
I think I shouldn't need an excuse. I think if I tell you that I want you to come back to the US with me, you just come with me.
I told you, control. If I tell you something, you do it. I told you. That's what the issue is here. That's why you can never put any blame on her on her choices, because he's like, nah, I've had you controlled for a minute. There's no way that control is now breaking all of a sudden. I knew it. Look at him. If I tell you something, you should do it. Ah,
Wow.
it explains even more why she's been so cagey and nervous to actually tell him anything, to be fair with you. That's why she's been blindsiding him. She hasn't known how to communicate with him because she knows where these relationships are going to be. Which is another reason why she should have never been with him in the first place. She should have never married him in the first place. No one should be in a relationship with someone who they're afraid to communicate with. That's pathetic.
Did we live in like in I don't know 1950s or something? It sounds to me like you trying to use any excuses like you know to get me to go back to your US with you, but Joe, it's not gonna work like that. My mom is taking care of Mila, so me and Karina can go to the spa while Jovi is hanging out and probably drinking beer with Tom. After fighting for so much with Jovi, it feels so good to go and have a spa day with my best friend.
Так странно, вот так вот, когда снег, и ты плаваешь в бассейне. Это, наверное, тоже побоялась. Все-таки, это, наверное, украинки, потому что украинки ничего не боятся.
It feels so good to be able to spend time with Karina because she's from Ukraine and she does understand how I feel better than my friends sitting back in USA. And she also understands me better than Joey does.
Слушай, прикинь, как мы сегодня через Jovi договоримся. Давай тогда я еще одного ребенка. Уже? Да. Я знаю, опять это, я не знаю, что делать.
Bam. All right, freedom.
The bickering all them damn girls around.
Yeah. I just don't understand why she's pushing me so hard with the Europe thing.
I mean, y'all did the vows. I mean, y'all got married. Y'all have a beautiful baby girl. I want y'all to stay together. You know, so I don't want like seeing y'all fight and stuff like that. You know, I'm sure it's hard for you.
I don't want to fight with her. But I mean, I have to be honest with her. You know, I brought something else up to Yara. Probably in the near future, I want to have another child. And she was just like, she wasn't having it.
Damn.
Basically, I felt like she considered my opinion at all.
Ребенка можно, но не сейчас, попозже. Как-то не рановато ли? Я тоже говорю, не рановато, тем более, что просто понимаешь, он не понимает, как это сложно, потому что
When Joey brought the topic about a second baby, it was making me feel like at first I didn't believe him. Like, are you joking? Is this kind of a joke? Is this a prank or what? It feels like he was trying to control me down so I don't stay in Europe longer. I love Mila more than anything, but I feel like I sacrifice a lot. And now this is my time to build my independence.
You know, I'm going to say this though, women, ladies, do not wait a certain time period to build your independence. If you know you're a woman that likes independence in a relationship, you put that, you lay the law down at the very, very beginning. You cannot let a man lay down his law just to get his attention. Because there's a lot of women that out there that will roll over just to get his attention, just to get him trapped in, just to get him in a relationship. And then once they have him locked into the relationship, all of a sudden, boom, bam, they start to change. All of a sudden, now they want this independence. They want this, they want that. Which isn't a bad thing. But what I'm trying to say is that if you give someone a perception who you are, well, then that's the perception that they fall in love with, or the perception that they are going with. If you give them a perception of that you're not independent or X, Y, Z, they're going to expect you to not be like that. Now, of course, should you be allowed to change who you are and evolve who you are in life and in your relationship? Absolutely. But there's a difference with changing and evolving, because this is what's happening in your life, compared to this is how you've always been, but you suppressed it just to hook him in. Fine line, complete difference. Because once you get, because you know that was you the whole time, when you finally decide to break through, you're always gonna you're gonna find it frustrating to break out. You're gonna be like, damn, it's just different. Usually, when you evolve and change, you do it together. But when you have just suppressed a part of you, and then you're looking to put it on at any given time, that's not you doing it together now. That's you being like, okay, he's comfortable. Now let me switch on. It's not a transition that you do together. Do you see what I'm saying? Just saying, like, at the end of the day, Yara should have already put these things in place way back. She is shooting herself in the foot now, and rightly so, because I've always said that if you're not going to be yourself at the very beginning of meeting someone, then why be anyone? Then why be anything? Just be yourself, man. Come on. And to wait after you've had a kid, the person as well, to now show who you are. Come on now, don't mess about with me.
Instead of being locked with another child at home again.
Я не могу понять, он тебя не доверяет.
The way she said, instead of being locked at home with another child again. You know what? I'm going to take that down as just her. I'm gonna take that down as English not being her first language because that wording was not right. Locked with another child again. That sounds terrible, man. It sounds like you don't even want to be a mother. Come on, man. Ish. Please be mindful of your wording, but I'm not gonna penalize her. I say maybe that's it's a language barrier. That's what I'm gonna say for that one. I'm being nice.
И что? Ну, что в этом такого? Тем более ему повода вряд ли не дают.
She's told me before she wants to have another child, but that's just kind of like, oh, not now. Like, let's wait a few years, whatever. I mean, how long do you want to wait? Like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, time.
Well, here's the thing though. If she said before that she wanted a child and you said no, why would you expect her to say yes now just because you're saying it? You both have to be ready at the same time. Things have changed since then, clearly. You can't be putting that on her.
Time rolls, man.
I know. We have to talk about it. It's something that, I mean, we're a married family now. You know, we need to talk about these kind of things and be on the same page. Like, if we're not, then I don't know, where do things stand? Talking to Yara about having another baby, obviously she doesn't have the same feeling right now. She basically kind of laughed at me at the fact that I even brought it up. She says we're not ready, we have a lot to work on before that. I understand that Yara's going through a lot right now, but a marriage is supposed to be about building our future together. But right now, it feels like Yara is planning a future just for herself.
Do you feel like Yara's like, you know, influence you to do certain things that, you know, maybe, you know, from the European style to Louisiana style that you don't like to do?
Or... myself, and I hope you can.
Given everything that I've now discovered or have said in this video, I no longer believe that she's been trying to build a future by herself. I no longer believe that she was trying to plan things that involves her actually leaving Jovi. And now I believe that everything that she was doing, it was just a thing of just her being independent, just for her to have something of her own. That's what I now believe. But again, the way she's gone about it is still been incorrect. She could have gone about it in such a better way, but she didn't. And that is now what is shooting her in the foot. I just want to add though, man, I bought this today, man, and this is cozy. I'm boiling now. I've been cold the whole day, you know, this whole time, but now it's nice, you know. Yeah, got some Costco's, you know. $16.99, nice little bargain, you know what I mean? Oh boy, just wanted to share the information. Go to Costco's, UK Costco's, you know what I'm saying? $16.99. This is cheap and free. Although I have another jump underneath, that's because you do that. She has now told me that I don't need. Just wanted to share information, guys. Right, let's continue.
You can see that, like, I haven't changed, right? Like, I'm kind of the same.
You're like still the same, but I feel like sometimes maybe Yara kind of influences you, and sometimes maybe, I don't know if it's me being selfish or what, but I do miss the times that when we could just go out and ball out all the time and have good times, deciding to stay.
Not the Yara influence, it's him, it's himself. He wants to be around Yara all the time so he can control her narrative. That's what it is.
Over here,
Yara would not block this man from going out and spend time with his friends, trust me, because he'd give an excuse to go and see her own friends. But at the same time, though, if she did block him, probably because of like... Because you know what, though? It makes sense now why she's always been wanting to go out without him, because she's so overwhelmed by him. She needs space. Independence. It makes sense. Who knows? But I will say, though, that she is definitely looking for someone to be a babysitter. I agree with the statement of her, this whole thing of her, yeah, anyway, whatever, yeah.
When you go home, man, it's pretty rough, man, and you can't let her make the decisions right now, and I think she still should be, you know, thinking about her immediate family. She's being selfish.
Absolutely. I'm gonna tell Yara, I don't want you to be in Europe. I want you to come back home with me, that's it.
Не знаю, он чего-то боится, я не понимаю. Чего? Что я куплю квартиру и куплю себе квартиру здесь, и здесь останусь, а ты хочешь переехать сюда на всякую группу или приезжать сюда время от времени? Ну, пока что приезжать время от времени. Более я могу полгода быть в Америке, полгода за границей, поэтому пока что никаких планов нету, но если он будет так со мной разговаривать, если он будет со мной так разговаривать, то я, может быть, так и сделаю.
I always say Joey before when he didn't trust me, when you the more trying to put the pressure on me, you're more pulling me away from you. Because the more you're trying to squeeze me in, the more I want to go away. So that's not a good choice. That's not a good thing to do. He's pushing me away, and honestly, I think right now, if I stay here a little bit longer with Mila, maybe this can be good for us.
And just to confirm, she doesn't mean good for us as in like, oh, we're going to stay and not come back. She's saying having this space would be good for them. It does make a lot of sense. It would be good for her, at least anyway. For him, it would drive him crazy, to be honest with you, with his power on himself. Well, interesting. Well, you guys let me know what you're thinking down below in the comment section and we will most certainly talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below if you do what I'm saying. We are done. We are out. Peace.